At Unitron, we spent some time looking out 10 years to really understand what the changes are that are coming around the corner, so that we can better understand how we can support our partners through those changes. And the one that really stands out is the arrival of the baby boomer. 2014 is the first year that we're going to see baby boomers in any significant numbers. And of course, that's a patient group with different decision drivers and a different set of expectations as consumers. So it's imperative on any service provider that they fully understand those differences and change the way that they attract and service those patients.
I totally agree with that, Jason. Some of the things we've learned about baby boomers is that they're much more educated, much more savvy when it comes to making decisions around their health care. They're more likely to go online and do quite a bit of homework before they make a decision to do business or form a relationship with a healthcare provider. Another thing we know about baby boomers is that because of the way they grew up with vaccinations, with antibiotics, in a sense they're almost bulletproof when it comes to their outlook towards healthcare. And that puts a lot of pressure on hearing care providers because baby boomers have very high expectations. In a sense, they want to live to be 100 and maintain the vitality of somebody who's in their 40s. For a long time, we've worked under the proverbial, it takes 7 to 10 years for someone to make a decision to come in to have their hearing screened. But what we've learned through what's called the health belief model or the spiral of decision making is that there's a subgroup of patients that actually come into the office much sooner. So one of the questions that we're kind of looking at is, why do some people come in sooner for hearing care while others wait? And a good model that explains that is something called the spiral of decision making. And what we're learning is that professionals who are swept into that spiral when patients first start to notice a hearing loss, those providers are much more likely to be successful with their patients. One is that all business is personal, and the other is that all business is local. And I think at Unitron, we really pride ourselves on delivering on both of those fronts, providing tools that help personalize the patient experience and also tools that help drive office traffic in their local market. In-clinic success really means, in my mind, two things. One is to have cutting-edge, easy-to-fit, innovative products. And the other component to in-clinic success are clinical tools and procedures that you can rely on to have a consistently high quality of care delivered to patients.
So when we talk about the product philosophy at Unitron and some of the ways that we use technology to overcome the barriers that stand in the way between the consumer and amplification.
And that would be Flex.
Right.
Flex is completely unique to Unitron. Flex is an ideal sort of a tool because it allows patients to make their own decisions with regard to amplification rather than relying on the decisions exclusively from a healthcare professional.
You know, when you look at the history of Unitron and what's made us so successful over the last 50 years, there's been this consistent strand of DNA through all the changes, which is this fanatical devotion to delivering an exceptional customer experience. So as we look out over the next 10 years and the challenges that face many clinicians, I think that Unitron is uniquely positioned with our insights and our experience to help them on their journey to giving their customers that same fantastic patient experience.